going on, everyone? It's gonna be Naga Strike here. You already know what it is. And today I'm bringing you one of my favorite robos to play in Custom Robo. The build I've dubbed the Twin Needle build. Okay, so you can see the build that we got up here on the screen. And let me just go over this for you. So the main component here is going to be the Needle Gemini P combo between your gun and your bomb. Thus, the Twin Needle build. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to play very safe, you can play neutral, and you can pressure from virtually any point on the map. This works well in most scenarios. You can play very well from close range, mid-range, or from far away. And so basically the rest of the build here, we got the Glaive, and that's going to be one of the strike finisher models, and I'll go over why we make this choice here in just a second. And we also have the short thrust. Alright, so let me go over why I chose all of these. So the Glaive, why didn't I pick Javelin, or why didn't I pick Halberd? Okay, well, Glaive, mostly just for the collision, but it aids in many more ways than just one. It gives you a better neutral and combos, and I will explain those later when we get to those sections. Now for the needle, the point of this build is just to be able to handle any scenario, really. So the needle's a very safe gun. It's got very low end lag. You don't get a ton of damage with the needle, but it is definitely very safe. And the other half of our twin needle build with the Gemini, it pairs very well with that. And the main selling point of the needle, I think, is that it's very safe, but also that you can really use it from any range. Like, it works close, mid, or far away. Very effective gun. Alright, we got the Gemini P, that's the second half of the twin needle combo, and this bomb is very spammable. It comes out very fast, and one of the reasons why we actually use the P instead of the B is because the blast linger on the ground. It's very great for trapping your opponent. Then for the pod, this is pretty interchangeable depending on your matchup, but basically what you want to do is you want to have a pod where you can have multiple out at a time. So basically with Strike Finisher, you can position yourself wherever you want, and you want to be throwing out the palms to aid your pressure. So I prefer diving. I think that's the most well-rounded pod, because you can throw it out and pressure your opponent alongside the Gemini P and the needle. But depending on the matchup, I also like Spider G to control the ground, or Sky Freeze and Satellite to control the air. Depending on your personal preference, you can pretty much throw whatever you want on here, just as long as you can spam it out for pressure. And then on the legs, we got short thrust. I swear by these legs on Strike Finisher. There's no other way to play this bot, in my opinion. I know a couple guys in the Discord prefer things like quick jump or long thrust, but just in testing, it just doesn't feel that great to me. I really prefer the short thrust here. So why would you want to play this robo? Well, you can reposition yourself at any point in time. You can pretty much be where you want to be, when you want to be. If you enjoy high action per minute robos, then this is definitely for you. You want to be spamming lots of buttons. Even if you're not doing anything, just dodging around your opponents, you gotta mash that air dodge out and then add safe pressure by your own. You can pressure, if you want to pressure from mid or long range, this is great for you. Now, why wouldn't you want to play this bot? Some of the bad things. Sometimes you can't combo properly. There's some weird things that I haven't figured out with the different weights in this game so far. And then also your combo damage isn't that great. But the trade-off is you get a really good safe gun. You can play neutral a lot of times, and it's easy to win neutral in my opinion, but you don't get that great of combo opportunities. I think this bot personally, I think he struggles if your opponent can stay in close, or sometimes people can out pressure you from far away. You definitely don't want to trade because your needle does low damage. Lingering hitboxes can be a problem sometimes. You know, guns like Flame, lots of multi-hits, like Rayfall, it can be hard to dodge around a setup. V-Laser's a big problem in my opinion because they can mix up the V or the single shot. So it can be tough to dodge around that with your air dash. And without further ado, let's get into some of the neutral game. Okay, so what's the playstyle of this spot? Well, you're going to be really safe so you can pressure your opponent, and then also, if you see the short thrust teleport here, like, it's just so great. It's so quick, you can react to a lot of things, so you pretty much want to pressure your opponent into making a mistake, and then it's kind of like a bait and punish style of character in my opinion. So what you want to do for neutral, so you just want to get your movement down. I think that's the most important thing with this bot. You definitely want to throw out Gemini P, pressure a lot. You can see it's very fast. This is just insane, like the pressure you get next to Needle. The twin needle combo is so good in my opinion. So yeah, you just kind of want to dash around. Make sure that you have your pods out. You know, you're getting stage control, you're pressuring your opponent at the same time. You're relatively safe while you're doing all this. You can play around the walls, and it's just great. And you can see here is one of the reasons why we picked this collision attack. You can actually, like, collision for invincibility to jump and shoot over the wall. Normally, if you jump over the wall and shoot like that, you don't get the collision attack invincibility. So your opponent can actually shoot you for peeking over the wall. And then, yeah, you can do stuff like, hey, I'm gonna shoot you over the wall, teleport through, just kidding, I'm in your face now. Just make sure you're mixing up what you're doing, constantly be pressuring your opponent, and try to position yourself where you want to be at all times. Just make sure you keep in mind what your opponent can do, and try to bait them into doing something that's laggy and make a mistake. Or you can just mix up, play from long range, and then all of a sudden go in their face. And that's pretty much just the general playstyle of this bot. I think it's pretty safe for anybody to pick up, and I highly recommend you guys try it. So now these are basically like your bread and butter go-to combos. You can see up in the top right, I've actually got a damage chart, and I will leave that up for when we go into the next section. This was all tested on Rayo 1, and something you gotta watch out for is just be careful here. Sometimes if there's a wall, you can miss your shot. With that, let's get into the stages. Okay, so now we got the stage select, and I'm just gonna try and keep this brief. Keep in mind, this is my local stages. There's not really an agreed upon set just yet. So we got basic arena. It's pretty standard, diamond fences, you got the really low walls, and here's actually something really cool on high rise I'm going to show you. Alright, on high rise, here's a really cool trick and another reason why we picked Glaive. You see, normally you can't shoot over this wall, but check this out. Collision attack lets you get over the wall. OP, am I right? This is going to be so great. You can use this to your advantage because most people won't expect this. There's no way people will be ready for you to shoot through this wall, so use that to your advantage. And you can see here, you can actually double teleport onto the top of this wall. So that is kind of unsafe, so why would you want to use this? If you actually see, you kind of land for a second and you can slide off. So why is this important? If you see here, I'm trying to do it where you can teleport and then shoot. But if you see there, I'm messing up if you see the thrusters come out after your shot. But this is important because you can land and shoot a grounded shot and then slide off. It's very similar to ledge canceling if you're familiar with Smash terms. So you could use this with different guns to your advantage. Alright, let's get back into the stages. Next up we have Crevice Court, very good counter pick for Little Raiders as they can't get through those little holes in the wall. L Formation's another fairly standard stage. Castle Keep, we got a pretty large stage here, very good for us. We like large stages. Nature Park, also really good. The longer the stage, the more pressure you can get. Flower Garden, kind of the same thing as Nature Park. Chinese Bowl we don't actually use, but we play on. It's a very neutral stage, I feel like. And Robo's Room, I don't really like this one. It's too small. You really want to avoid close range. Locomotive is also really small, but this stage is actually pretty good because we can abuse that train and use that to our advantage. Loading Dock is another one of my favorite starter stages that we use locally. Very neutral. And then lastly we have Practice Stage, which is counted as basic arena. So to sum up the stages, this spot's meant to be very versatile and handle any situation, so really you can go to whatever stage you feel like. Some things I want to point out. We did showcase a thing you can do at High Rise Plaza, so try to go there if you can. I feel like that's a great stage. Probably our best stage. Crevice Court, important for counterpicking little raiders if you're having problems against your opponent. Capitalize on the larger stages. Definitely gives you more room to position yourself around the map and be annoying to your opponent, having to constantly guess where you're going to be. And avoid small stages because you really don't like close range. You don't get much off of combos and your opponent can capitalize on that. So every stage is fine, and without further ado, I'm just going to leave you guys to enjoy some gameplay footage that I've played against the computers on very hard, and I will rejoin you guys at the end of this video. Something I actually wanted to mention here is, if you notice, I did the 3-needle collision attack combo, and I actually missed on the collision attack. So this is what I'm talking about, where your combos can kind of be inconsistent sometimes. So if you're ever afraid this is going to happen to you, you can always go for the 4th needle, or you can also choose to do double needle into collision if you really want to end in the air. Ending in the air gives you great positioning. Real quick here, I just wanted to highlight that one of my points is needle can be great at any range. You can see I actually end the game from across the entire map. At first you see me not commit to the combo because I wasn't sure the first one would hit, but needle being such a relatively fast and safe gun, I end the game. Here I just wanted to quickly highlight how you can pressure from behind the walls, and if you see I actually use this pod to damage boost me up for another shot, so I thought that was pretty cool. Okay guys, so I really hope you enjoyed this showcase of one of my favorite robos in this game. I highly recommend you try it. It's very safe, very adaptable. You can play at any stage, any time against any robos with no fear of having a bad matchup or doing poorly unless it's on you. That's the thing I love about this robo. It's all on you. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to follow me on all my social media I have up on the screen. And I would also like to give a shout out to Tipdik. You guys should follow him. I will have a link to his YouTube channel as well. We consistently play robos together and stream as well. So look out for our streams. And if you're very interested in playing Custom Robo, speed running, playing competitively, or you just enjoy the game, you should come hang out. We have our own Discord server. I will also leave a link to that. And thank you guys for watching and have a wonderful day.